$18,000 a year. That's what your wife loses the day you pass away, and every year for the rest of her life. Picture her at the kitchen table, two places set, the way they've been for 40 years. Only now, one of those chairs is empty. You spent a lifetime building something together. Two Social Security checks coming in every month. And the day you pass, one of those checks stops. And it stops for good. Most veterans, they don't have an idea this is coming. Their wives, they find out the hard way. I say wives because if you're like me, and most men are, you know we're dying first, let's face it. And I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you because you can do something about it. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what. Here's how it works, and almost nobody explains it. Right now, you and your wife each get a Social Security check. Let's say you get $2,000 a month and she gets $1,500. Together, that's $3,500 a month coming into your house. Then you pass away. And here's the part that catches most people off guard. Your wife doesn't get to keep both of those checks. Social Security generally pays the surviving spouse the higher of the two benefits, but not both. They get the higher one. So your wife keeps your $2,000 and her own $1,500 check, it stops completely. Two checks just became one. That's $1,500 a month gone. $18,000 a year, maybe more. Think about what that feels like. She just lost her husband. She's grieving. And on top of that, the income that ran the house drops by a third or more overnight. This isn't your problem. This is her problem. And you didn't have to leave her this problem. The mortgage didn't get smaller. The property taxes, they don't get smaller. Neither does the groceries, the car, the electric bill. None of it is going down. The only thing that's going down is your wife's income. And she had no warning because the day you sat down to plan your retirement, nobody at Social Security pulled you aside and said, hey, by the way, when you're gone, one of these checks goes with you. Nobody says it. So today, I am saying it. I'm Chris Duncan, and I know you don't care who I am, but I've been helping retirees with Medicare and retirement planning for nearly 20 years. Our organization focuses on veterans, and this is the conversation I care about more than almost any other, because I've been on the phone with wives after, when it's too late to plan and all that's left is to cope. I don't ever want your wife to be the one sitting at the table blindsided, doing math she never agreed to do. You served, you earned every dollar of what's coming to you. The least we can do is make sure it protects her too. Let's head back to that $18,000 a year. If your wife lives another 20 years after you're gone, and many do, that's more than $360,000 she doesn't have. More than a third of $1 million. So here's the chorus I want you to carry through this whole video. One of you goes, one check goes to. Say it to yourself. One of you goes, one check goes to. Once you accept that's the rule, you can plan around it. Most people, they never get that far. Now here's the part that puts the power back in your hands. The check your wife keeps is generally based on what you were getting when you passed. So the decision you make about when to claim doesn't just affect you, it sets the floor for her for the rest of her life. And generally speaking, if the higher earner claims early, that survivor check is locked in lower. If the higher earner waits, those delayed credits can make the survivor check bigger. In plain English, the choice you make at 62, 67, 70 isn't really about you. It's about her for the 20 years she may be on her own. That's why you don't guess at this. Your exact numbers are your exact numbers. Call Social Security directly at 800-772-1213 and get your real figures. One more thing, and this one's for the military retirees. For years, there was something called the widow tax. If you had the survivor benefit plan through the military and your spouse also qualified for VA dependency and indemnity compensation, also called DIC, the government used to subtract one from the other. Surviving spouses lost thousands. As of 2023, that offset was eliminated. Eligible surviving spouses can now receive both. If that's your situation, don't assume anything. Confirm it with the VA and with the people who handle your military retirement pay. Getting it right matters to her. Let me show you how this plays out. 3 veterans, same age, same loving wife at home, same 2 Social Security checks. 3 completely different days after you pass. Veteran 1 never planned. He claimed early without a second thought. The day he passed, his wife lost income she didn't know was at risk, on top of losing him. She's the one at the kitchen table doing the math. Veteran 2 knew the check would drop, but he figured he'd deal with it later. Later never came. His wife gets by, but every single month is tighter than it had to be. Veteran 3 sat down while there was still time. He understood that his claiming decision set her floor. He planned it on purpose. When he passed, she grieved for her husband. She didn't also have to worry about her income. Same income, same love for their wives, 3 completely different outcomes for the women they left behind. Which veteran are you going to be? So here's what to do. And you can start today. First, find out what you and your wife each get from Social Security right now. Both numbers. Second, accept the rule. One of you goes, one check goes to. Plan your life around the check that stays. Third, get your claiming decision right because it sets her survivor check for life. Don't guess. Call Social Security. Again, 800-772-1213 for your exact figures. I started this video with a number, $18,000 a year, gone the day you pass, and every year after. You can't stop that day from coming. None of us can. But you can decide right now whether your wife faces it blindsided or whether she faces it knowing you already took care of her. One of you goes, one check goes to. Now you know it, so plan for it. I wrote Medicare for Veterans, the complete field guide. You can read it for free at freevetsbook.com or grab a copy on Amazon. And if you're watching this on your TV, scan the code on your screen. It takes you straight there. You're seeing 2 videos on your screen right now. One breaks down how much of your Social Security goes to Medicare before you ever see it. The other shows what the VA won't tell you about signing up at 65. Both are worth your time. I'm Chris Duncan. We speak veteran.